I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and spiritual study. By the merit of the teaching of Dharma, may I achieve Buddhahood, favor for all beings. Sangye, Sherdam, Shorti, Shama, Changchu, Vardu, Dharmi, Dhargey, Chenmo, Geshe, Formam, Dola, Pinjiri, Sangye, Sherdam, Shorti, Shama, Changchu, Vardu, Dharmi, Dhargey, Geshe, Geshe, Formam, Dola, Pinjiri, Sangye, Okay, so today we're going to start teaching directly. His name here, we're talking about how to train in the perfection of patience, right? I can briefly think that. So, as we are Mahayana practitioner, and then so we have to. I have to let them every single thing let them achieve enlightenment. Therefore, first I have to achieve enlightenment in order to let them have enlightenment. So for that, I need to study. Before that, I need to practice, and then practice is dependent on the study. Therefore, I'm studying for achieving enlightenment. That's what I think. And then what subject we study today is patience. And within patience, there are first, what is patience? That's subject definition. And then today, its subject matter is how to train in the perfection of patience. There are two ways. How to begin the cultivation of patience. That's our topic today. And then beginning cultivation patience practice is depend on your enthusiasm and your aspirations. That is depend on you think the benefit of doing patient practice, and then the fault of having a hangover, right? So last class we finished the benefit of doing the patient practice. So today we're going to start from the form of the heavy angle, right? Which page number is is page 144, 154, right? It says with respect to the fold of angle, the invisible fold are as follows. So there are invisible folds and then visible fold, right? So the visible, invisible means like a seen through by eye consciousness or not. That's it, right? And then so invisible here, mainly saying you're destroying your virtues. That's one piece. And then you're also destroying your good rebirth, which is the result of the virtues. And also you are like it's not a corresponding. It's like you are getting further the far from achieving like any path, right? It's like what is there? It's not corresponding, right? It is like let's say if I am achieving compassion tomorrow morning, then today I have a strong anger, and I will not achieve compassion tomorrow morning. Maybe next line. It's kind of what's called
prolonging.
so long.
You can say postponing, but it's like inadvertently postponing, like not on purpose.
Yeah, it's automatically make file, right? It's postponing means conventionally I will do it. I will do tomorrow and tomorrow. That's postponing, right?
That's why I said inadvertently postponing, like not on purpose, unintentional postponing.
Oh, okay.
That's delayed.
They are delayed. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So you will be delayed to achieve any kind of path. So that's how the invisible the fold of angle. And then so Lamrim specifically talks about here more just Temple talks about how is destroyed angle. What angle should be destroyed, and then which angle which is destroyed, and then okay, so maybe first we will read the Lamrim. Let me try to read first. Okay. With respect to the fold of angle, the invisible fold are as follows: engaging in the bodhisattva deeds. So any good deeds, such as generosity, worshipping the Sugatas, you have collected over 1,000 years, are all destroyed with one moment of anger. Okay. So it says you have collected over 1,000 eons merit, right? That will be destroyed by one moment anger. That it's talking like the physical, the person who you show the anger, right? That person who you show the anger, and the person who's showing this anger, and what type of anger will destroy. So here it says 1,000. If that person is like a bodhisattva, if you show anger to bodhisattva, then it will be destroyed 1,000 eons, which is collected 1,000 eons, which is destroyed. That if you show to bodhisattva, the anger, when you show the anger to someone, that person in bodhisattva, that will be destroyed 1,000 eons collected of virtues. So it's not that non-bodhisattva to non-bodhisattva, right? So it's ordinary to ordinary shows anger. It's still destroying the virtue, but not 1,000 eons. So it becomes more like a difficult level. So that will be talked later. But here showing who is not bodhisattva. but who is not good, ordinary being, that who never realize emptiness. That ordinary being shows anger to Bodhisattva. That Bodhisattva could be like a accumulation path, progression path, and seeing path, and so on. So whoever Bodhisattva, doesn't matter. That the ordinary being, when shows anger to the Bodhisattva, that will be destroyed 1,000 eons corrected virtues. That should be go like that, right? Okay, maybe a little bit. So as a Ayasura formulated this exactly, it is presented in engaging in Bodhisattva deeds. The play of Manjushri Sutra mentioned that distractions of virtue accumulated over 100 years, and also Chandakirti commentary on the Midway says that virtue accumulated over 100 years of conditioning to the perfection through generosity and ethical stand is destroyed even by the generosity of just movement of anger as well, right? Okay, so there are say 100 eons and 1,000 eons. So somebody would say 1,000 eons, right? And then here says 100 eons. So before we play with it, but read the next one. It says like concerning who are, concerning who or what's the recipient of such distracted anger must be. Some say that it must be. Okay, must be right. Some say that it must be Bodhisattva, while others said that it's the recipient in general. But they're true. But Lama Tsongkhapa said the form of accord with the statement in the commentary on the middle way. It's Bodhisattva. It's saying, therefore, a moment anger toward Konko's child is Bodhisattva. Just where the virtue arising from generosity and ethical stand accumulated over 100 eons. That's the shall we see. Okay. The 100 eons is saying within Bodhisattva has a lower Bodhisattva and like a higher Bodhisattva, right? Lower Bodhisattva shows anger to the higher Bodhisattva, that's 100 eons. And then ordinary beings shows the anger to the Bodhisattvas, that's 1,000 eons. Yeah, that's like the virtues. So that's what we need to know. That it says concerning who or what's the recipient of such an start of anger must be. It is Bodhisattva. When you say it is Bodhisattva, it means not that, and not saying that you will not destroy by anger to show anger to ordinary beings. It's not saying that, right? So here, 100 and 1,000 years, which is mentioned here, it should be Bodhisattva to receive an anger. And then say, with respect to the person who gets anger, right? And that's okay. So, Shobha, can you read that paragraph with respect to the person who gets angry, and then follow in general?
With respect to the person who gets angry, Chandrakirti's explanation of the middle way commentary says that an anger even by bodhisattvas destroys their roots of virtue. It goes without saying that the anger of non-bodhisattvas toward bodhisattvas does. Regardless of whether the recipient of the anger is ascertained to be a bodhisattva, or whether the perceived faults that cause the anger are real, the destruction of virtue is said nonetheless to be just as explained above, i.e., the virtue accumulated over 100 eons is lost. In general, for there to be destruction of the roots of virtue, it is not required that the anger be toward bodhisattvas. The Compendium of Training states, the text of the Arya Sarvastas also says, the Bhagavan said, monks, consider a monk who makes a full prostration to a stupa that contains a Buddha's hair and nails, and who has an attitude of faith. So be it, Reverend Monk. Monks, this monk will experience rains as a universal monarch, 1,000 times the number of grains of sand, 84,000 leagues under the ground his prostrate body covers, down to the disk of gold that supports the earth. Then the Venerable Upali, who is located off to the side from where the Bhagavan was seated, bowed with hands respectfully and asked, the Bhagavan has said that this monk's roots of virtue were so great. O Bhagavan, how are those roots of virtue used up, diminished, erased, and extinguished? Upali, when such a sin as malice is done to fellow practitioners, it is like a wound or maiming. I cannot see its full impact. Upali, this diminishes, erases, and extinguishes those great roots of virtue. Therefore, Upali, if you would not feel malice toward a burned stump, what need to mention feeling that way towards a body with consciousness?
Okay, so now here is talking about the who is the recipient, and then who gets anger, the chief type, right? And then all this talking here, Lamrim, can be combined in the 6 different type of person. The first, like I say, the person is like but here, okay, who gets anger? It should be below, like I'll say, preparation path, even with the sattva, right? Below preparation path. The seeing path, like whose Arya, never have, never manifest anger, therefore is not destroyed virtue because they never manifest anger. So therefore, who gets anger should be the person below preparation path. Could be preparation path, who is achieving preparation path. It could be accumulation path. Could be close to achieving accumulation path, or could be ordinary, right? So therefore, the first thing you need to know: who gets anger should be, must be that person below the preparation path. Okay, it's clear. From ordinary being to preparation path, between this the person who gets anger, and above preparation path, so from seeing path, never gets, never destroyed that virtue because they are never manifest anger. That's the reason. Then what is the 6th type of person here? The first say the lower Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva. Okay, so anger, who gets anger is Bodhisattva, and then recipients are Bodhisattva. There are like a few types, like a lower Bodhisattva who gets anger to the higher Bodhisattva who is receiving anger. It could be, say, it destroyed 10 eons virtues, right? The 10 eons collected virtues. Cool. This is important to know. What do you think? All right. I think it's okay. That's anyhow. I'm going to share that secret. So that's the first thing, right? Lower Bodhisattva who gets anger to show the recipient anger, the higher Bodhisattva. So then once it shows the anger, at the moment it destroyed the 100 eons collection virtues. Okay, that's one. And second, it's like the higher Bodhisattvas, like I say, preparation path is higher than accumulation path, right? Higher Bodhisattva shows to the anger to the lower Bodhisattva. That says, okay, sorry, I gotta live in like a. Okay, a higher Bodhisattva shows anger to the lower Bodhisattva. It is destroying the 100 eons anger, or like 100 eon corruption. Okay, higher Bodhisattva shows the lower. It should lower means should be Bodhisattva. Okay, it's not talking about the ordinary beings. Bodhisattva could be anger to ordinary being, but it's not coming. It has not been destroyed. So Bodhisattva higher to show the anger to the lower Bodhisattva. Then it destroyed 100 eons anger. Okay? Now go back, the first one. The lower Bodhisattva shows anger to the higher Bodhisattva. It is like a more than, way more than 100 eons destroying virtue. And also it says, has to be like a rebirth in hell, what's called? 1 eons need to be what's called remaining in hell beings. That's the result. You know, that much destroying it. It's not just destroying anger. It also brings you to that what called the bad result, which need to be remaining in like a hell beings as 1 eons. This is the result. The lower Bodhisattva shows anger, higher Bodhisattva.
Is this like just the hell realms in general for 1 eon, or is it like a specific realm?
Same, yeah, general. Why Bodhisattva? Because, okay, and then it's not only that. Then they have to be restart, like all this practice, they achieve something, and they are close to achieve something that, like say, who achieved the preparation path. Preparation path has 4, right? So that who achieved the preparation path, which is close to like achieving the seeing path. The next movement is seeing path. But when it shows anger to the like higher Bodhisattva, that are like it's like a delayed, yeah, as you said, delayed 1 eon to achieve seeing path. This is that, yeah.
The Buddha write these things in this.
Buddha write it, yeah.
Buddha,
Yeah. So this is not a Buddha quote. I'm quoting by Lamrim. If you read the Lamrim, you will see all this detailed Lamrim. And then Lamrim is like a quoting by Chandrakirti and Buddha's text and like a very different texts. So that's the second, right? We done second? What do? Okay, now third one is the equal Bodhisattva, like a preparation path to preparation or accumulation path to accumulation path. Once they have anger, that's saying that they are destroying more than 100 eons virtue, but less than like above 1. And also there has to be how long they have, like how momentary they have anger. That much momentary need to be remaining in helpless. That's to say, momentary is like 5 minutes having anger, right? 5 minutes. How many momentary there? 5 minutes. So each moment, like each second, right, is to be counted. Each second it brings you the 1 eon's hell being form, hell remaining form. I don't know, this is 2 number. Okay, so that's the 4 things, and then fourth one is who is non-Bodhisattva, right? Who is not Bodhisattva, ordinary being, to showing anger to the Bodhisattva, and as we said, it is destroying the 1,000 years collection of virtues, right? And then Bodhisattva shows anger to the who's not Bodhisattva, the fifth one, right? Bodhisattva shows anger to the who's not Bodhisattva. That not really like destroying their virtues, but has some kind of fault, but I don't know what is exactly for. But it says like it's like delaying achieve their own the next moment of attainment, like a next attainment. The fifth one, right? How much you got it? Fifth, right? And then last 6th one, as like a non-Bodhisattva showing anger to the non-Bodhisattva. So that's we just read it. This is the you read it? No, first one non-Bodhisattva shows anger to like a Bodhisattva shows anger to the non-Bodhisattva. The 5th one, right? The 6th one is non-Bodhisattva shows anger to the non-Bodhisattva. does destroy anger, which is said in like we just read it. Which text? Which text is here? The text of the Arya Sarvasvadan. That text said how it's destroyed. That text is explained. That's explained to non-bodhisattva who gets anger, that non-bodhisattva to receiving is non-bodhisattva. Then they're having it destroyed that. They did not say 1,000 eons and eon, but it's destroyed the virtues. So usually, many times we hear it, when you show anger, it's destroy your all these eons, all these like virtues. Like it depends on who is the recipient, right? Yeah. You got 6 here, right? Okay. Now ready? You got 6? I don't know what you will say. Okay, now you can ask question. Now it's talking about what we read Lamrim is talking about that 6 things. The receiver, who receives the anger and who gets anger and how much destroy the virtue and what the results come specified. Okay, now you can ask question.
So, a lot of times I feel like I've heard that when you dedicate your virtue, that has a way of protecting your virtue.
Yeah, that's different. This is talking about basis which is not dedicated. Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised that Bodhisattvas have virtue that they did not dedicate.
Yeah, so this is like a Bodhisattva to Bodhisattva, right? The Bodhisattva to Bodhisattva, even they dedicate it, they won't destroy it. Yeah. For ordinary being, when they dedicate, for ordinary being, when it shows anger to the Bodhisattva, even dedicate, I don't know, it will be destroyed. For ordinary being to ordinary being, it's not when you dedicate it, not destroyed. So yeah, that is a good question. Yeah.
It's very good. So this is just about virtue,
So far here, the virtue could be karma or could be not. Like say. Okay. The preparation path, the last one is like a supreme preparation path. It says supreme.
Sometimes.
Excellent.
Supreme.
Supreme Dharma.
Yeah.
Supreme Dharma. That will never rebirth in hell beings. Therefore, they are not really say it's good karma or bad karma. It's more they are close to overcome by karma's result. So their virtue is just virtues, not really counted karma. But our virtue right now, say, I do like 100 prostration, accumulate merit. That merit could be karma. It destroys both, like a karma and virtue. Could be both, or it could be not.
So, and the result of the ordinary persons who say an ordinary person should be angry at Bodhisattva, which would be maybe
Mm-hmm.
Is it both the seeds and the results, so there's no way to not have the seeds?
You are asking more like what means the story, right? Yeah, okay. That will become later. Yeah, we can talk. What means the story? That comes later. Okay.
So I have 2 questions now, one related to Janet's question about dedicating virtue. So here it's saying destroys roots of virtue. So even if I create virtue and dedicate it for the enlightenment of all beings, that's not destroyed, but my roots. And that virtue dedicated is kind of like a fruit, right? From the root. So my roots of that virtue are destroyed. I'm not connected to it, but other beings can still benefit from it.
You asking your own virtues destroying?
Well, it could be bodhisattva, whoever dedicates. So if I'm making a distinction between roots of virtue and virtue that's been dedicated.
What is root of virtue?
Well, that's really where my question's going, because I perceive roots of virtue to be like.
Like say, take an example, right? You are offering
the ground,
No, stay with one example, then we will understand better. Just take virtue that you're offering lamb for lamb. Okay, that now we accumulate some virtue. Or we do like a patient practice or generosity practice. We accumulate some virtue. Now, what is the root of this virtue?
So I'm perceiving it to be like a connection to the result. So if I dedicate that virtue, that's the result.
The generosity, okay.
Right, that's the result of dedicating it for benefit of others. But if I destroy my roots to that virtue, then
Therefore, I don't understand what is root virtue.
that's part of the question, actually. So take an example of like a plant to keep like the metaphor. So the roots, there's a seed in the ground, and then the ground, if the conditions are right, produces the root. That root connects them to the result, which is like the tree, the fruit.
That's
the tree.
okay. Okay.
Right? So if I destroy my roots of virtue, I can't connect to it. I'm not my root.
But I don't understand root virtue.
Yeah, that's.
We have we have a physical love of virtue, right? So accumulated like a virtue by like generosity, patient practice, all this accumulated practice, it's accumulated virtue, right?
Right.
So what are the root of that virtue? You're thinking root of all virtue or specific?
No, the specific. Even here it says in Chandrakirti's commentary in the middle, it says that the virtue accumulated over 100 eons of conditioning to the perfection of generosity and ethical discipline. It's very specific, just to the first two, conditioning to those perfections. I'm talking any other kind of virtue, just like, so there's like a connection to that specific virtue created.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking about is when we say roots of virtue, is that talking like my connection to the result or the result itself?
The virtue is which is connection to the result, right? The virtue should be cause, and which is brings to the result. Like as like our ordinary being, result would be some kind of pleasure things, and then the highest result would be that each above path, right? So the virtue is seed of like a main root, which is brings to the result. Yeah.
So, and then concerning is it karma? So in the cases where it is karma, shouldn't there be more than just the recipient determining that? Because then there's also in the chapter we studied the distinctions and the varieties of karma, determining the effects of karma. There's a discussion about the criteria for powerful results. So strength based on the recipient, but also support, object, and attitude. So shouldn't those also determine the effect?
Like when we say how, guess you're talking about how we accumulate virtue, right? How we accumulate non-virtue, complete or incomplete, right? Completely has to be meet all the basic and have all things complete. So
well, that's more. No, that's I think different, isn't it? Because then we're talking basis, attitude, performance, and culmination.
Or then what you were asking?
So I'm asking more like the weight of the non-virtue is also based on the weight of it can be based on the recipient.
Oh, I see. Okay, non-virtue, yeah. The non-virtue karma, like I said, you have like the stronger non-virtue, you kill like your parents. And then if you kill someone, you're not doing but it's lighter. That's your thing, right? It's depend on this. Yeah, that's true. But what do you make related with the today's topic?
Because we're only talking recipient. So it seems there would be some variation even among the 6 categories.
This is recipient who we show anger, right? That's the topic. It's not saying recipient that we hit them, we kill them, we lie them. It's not saying that. Right? Only shows anger. That's the recipient.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. Okay, Ronnie?
Excuse me for this question about that. What is the purpose of the
sophisticated bodhisattva or learned Buddhist. What is the purpose of these numbers? That I should do that because 100 years or 200 years or 500 years or 64 years.
Okay, I understand your question. So purpose is here saying that it's like if you are really seeking the merit, virtue, right? And it's a one-time showing anger to Bodhisattva will destroy all this virtue. That means who is Bodhisattva, we never know, right? So therefore, always control to show the anger to others. That's the purpose.
So the numbers are a deterrent. You know what a deterrent is? Deterrent means something that deters you from doing something bad. Like somebody doesn't steal because there is a deterrent, it's going to go to jail for 20 years. That's a deterrent. It's the knowledge of the numbers of the hundreds of these. Is that a deterrent?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Deterrent.
Yeah. Okay. So now we are clear with the between receiving and who gets anger and what the results here, right? Okay. So that means what we need to learn. We are not Bodhisattva. I don't know. Maybe you are. I'm not. So, so therefore, as we are we never know once we meet the Bodhisattva, and then we never know we showing the anger to whom, right? So therefore, if it is the result, just destroying everything, so then why not we should be careful, doesn't matter whoever, try not to show anger. That more safety, right? That's more safety. So then if you don't care, that's okay then, right? So, but again, understanding this, having trust on that, is you need to go back to understand karmic cause and effect, right? So you understand karmic cause and effect perfectly, then you will understand that. You might have a trust on that. So, so that if you feel that I really don't have a trust on that, then you don't force here to having trust. Go back to understand karma. So that will help you to understand these things and have a trust on that. Once you have a trust, then it lets you careful for everyone. And of course, try not to show anger. Because we are talking about the fault of having anger, right? Once you understand this is the fault, then I'm destroying everything, which I collected by many years. So then that anger is not just eating my immune system. Anger is not just like destroying some kind of temporary. Anger is also destroying that, right? It's an invisible result, fault, and visible. This is the invisible things that just depend on your trust and faith, and that just depend on how much you understand karmic process. So this is how we go. Okay, so okay, now let's talk about that. What means to store the anger. But still, I'm thinking what Janet asked question to dedicate and Bodhisattva isn't that dedicated. This makes me think. So I'm thinking I'm not answering clear on that. So hold it. So now we're talking here the what mean of destroying, right? Okay, Chenmo, can you read like a summer scholar and then next follow reply? Can you pass that microphone?
Some scholars' position. The meaning of destroying the roots of virtue is that in destroying the capacity of previous virtues to issue their effects speedily, you delay the issuance of their effects. So anger, for instance, will get its effects first, but it is certainly not the case that the seeds of the roots of virtue will not issue effects when they later meet with the requisite conditions, because given that no mundane path can eliminate the seeds that are to be eliminated, it is impossible to have an elimination of the seeds of the afflictions.
Okay, sorry. So, do you understand, Claire, what the Summit scholar said? Okay. So destroy means it's saying it's not destroyed completely resolved. The destroy means that karmic is not gives you resolve. That means destroy, right? So the virtue that we're talking about, the virtue. So destroying virtue means not brings you any result. That's how we need to start. But here the scholar are saying that destroying the virtue means it's not the completely destroyed. It's kind of postponing. Now we can say it's postponing your delay your result of karma, and then once you meet again with a good condition, it will give you result. But it means it's holding, it's there. Only that you are delayed that result. That's the scholar saying. You know who is this scholar? Some are the teacher of Lama Tsongkhapa, like Rendawa is, and you know the Geshe Sangho who composed 37 Bodhisattva. Yeah, that's also a scholar says these things, and Lama Tsongkhapa's teacher Rendawa says also, and then Bhutan Rinpoche is like a very scholar. He also said that, and then some other scholar there. They are saying these things. So just destroying means delayed giving result. It's not completely gone. It's there. Once you meet the condition, it gives you result again. That's what they are stating. Yeah.
Here he says no mundane path can eliminate the seed. So what he's saying is only a supramundane path is the solution here. Is that what that I didn't understand? No mundane path can eliminate the seeds.
Okay. This is mental part and non-mental part. It's giving example. It's giving an example that so the mental path is like actually it cannot eliminate any kind of mental affection and itself, seed and everything, right? The mental, what is the mental path here? So mental path here is could be non-Buddhists have that mental path, like a Hinduism practitioner could be have that mental path. The mental path here is which is path for like achieving like the higher form ramps are, like a lower form ramp, the desire ramp to go to form ramp, right? Then due to practice, more shamatha practice, and then try to achieve the second form ramps. That's the, which is the path that they achieve the, it mixes with the karma actually, right? It's six path, but again, it's kind of a karma. So they accumulate all this practice to achieve the second level of form ramps. That's called path, but this is the mental path. And then what called? Which is the, where's the non-mental path? It says which is non-mental path. Mental path can be eliminated the seeds that are to be eliminated. It is impossible to have an eliminate of the seed of the reflections. Yeah. So is it just a mental path, right? So what opposite one? Non-mental path? Unmental? Supermental path is like who sees emptiness directly. That's other supermental path, right? So above supermental path only have the above seen path, right? And again, it could be like a preparation path and accumulation path or mental path. But same, the preparation path and the accumulation path both cannot eliminate the seed of imperfections. Cannot. Even the seeing path cannot eliminate the seed of imperfections, right? No, yeah, seeing path, yeah. So, sorry, meditation path does, yeah. So with the achieve 8 bhumi, then eliminate all the mental applications and see. Yeah. But they do not have a manifested. They do not have, as says, anger is not manifested. That's why they do not have like a desire, and this like a doubt are not manifested. But they do have a seed, right? I mean, like a seeing that, yeah.
We talk about the delay, we talk about the virtue, we talk about
Hello? When we're talking about the delay, we're talking about the delay of the roots of virtue.
No, result of virtue.
Result of virtue. So in other words, it's going to be delayed, but when the right conditions are there, then the good result.
That's the way that some scholars said that.
right.
But Lama Tsongkhapa did not accept that. Okay.
But
But at the end of that, what the scholars say, also it's not talking about the virtues that are going to be delayed and the right conditions are going to ripen. It's talking about affliction. It is impossible to have an elimination of the seeds of the affliction.
Yes.
So now we're talking about the opposite. We're not talking about the virtues. We're talking about the affliction. So even though Tsongkhapa doesn't agree with that,
Now, here, as I said, the mental path cannot eliminate the affliction seed. It's giving example to that virtues, or like giving example to that virtues, even like it's not showing that even like what called
so it's telling you that the seeds of affliction cannot be eliminated. And it's using that as a rationale to back up that the seeds of the virtue cannot be eliminated but delayed. So now he's using two opposite things. He's using something completely opposite of virtue, which is the affliction, to back up the fact that the virtues will not be eliminated but just delayed in the right way.
no, it's saying here, okay, mental path cannot eliminate this even any kind of seed, cannot eliminate any kind of negative seed, then how come it can eliminate the mental affliction seed? Same way, just having anger, not destroying all the seed virtue. That's what they are saying. That anger cannot destroy the seed of virtue, therefore it will be that gives result in future once they meet the condition. Because the mental path cannot eliminate the seed, same way anger cannot eliminate all these virtues. That's the same thing.
I understand that.
Okay, then what you don't understand?
What I don't understand is why does it use seeds of affliction? It uses seeds of affliction, but seeds of affliction cannot be eliminated. It uses that to prove the point that seeds of virtue cannot be eliminated. Those are completely opposite things. Seeds of affliction is completely the opposite of seeds of virtue. But it's using seeds of
You think it's completely different, right? But it's here. The truth is virtue is here.
Right.
Okay? What is the cause to accumulate it? What is the cause of keep? What is the cause of destroy? Seed of mental affliction. What is the cause of eliminate? What cause of keep it? So two different here, right? So they're comparing it. This mental path cannot eliminate the mental affliction seed. Same way, this virtue, like angry, cannot destroy the virtue seed.
Yeah, it's not comparative. It's not saying the same, it's saying because. It's saying because.
It is. Therefore said because it cannot, same way it cannot.
I think
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you said. Now it's okay
Yeah.
because it's confusing. I thought, okay, so they should have said, as this cannot do that.
You have a better explain?
I
What do you think?
I understand your point, but I think your point is
The word
You're missing one line, I think. So if you look back into that paragraph, okay, let me go back to the beginning of the sentence. For instance, believe its effectors, in the case of the sequence virtue, I should have said maybe with the conditions. Because given that no mundane path can eliminate the seeds that are to be eliminated, it's not specifying there are only seeds of virtue or affliction. It says the mundane path can't eliminate seeds that are to be eliminated. Both of those types of seeds are seeds to be eliminated. You want to eliminate seeds of karma and mental affliction. So if the mundane path can't eliminate either of those, why would it be able to eliminate affliction?
Okay. Okay, now you understand, right? Okay. So now here, this is some scholars said it, how destroy the virtue by anger. Okay, now what is Lama Tsongkhapa statement? Shobha, can you read the reply? Oh, yes, sorry. Richard, can you pass that?
This reasoning is unsound, because even in the purification, where an ordinary means clear away non-virtue by means of its remedy, 4 powers of confession, is not an elimination of its seeds. Nevertheless, though the seeds of this non-virtue may later meet with the requisite conditions, they cannot issue a fruition. Even virtuous and non-virtuous karma that are spent upon issuing their individual fruitions do not lose their seeds. Nevertheless, even when the seeds of such karma meet henceforth with the requisite conditions, it is impossible for fruitions to arise. And when you attain the peak in forbearance levels of the path of preparation, which are the second and third of 4 levels, you do not eliminate the seeds of non-virtue that cause wrong views and miserable rebirths. Nevertheless, even though the seeds of this non-virtue may meet with the requisite conditions, they cannot give rise to wrong views or a miserable rebirth.
Okay. Yeah, wrong views or miserable rebirth. So, okay, now Lama Tsongkhapa giving like a kind of a 5 reason to reject it. Disagree with that scholar, what they said it. It said, Lama Tsongkhapa mainly saying, even that seed are not eliminated, it means not necessary to resolve, once to meet the condition to resolve compacts. But the above us saying, the scholar is saying, the seed are not eliminated, therefore it missed the once can miss the condition, it gives result. Therefore, it's not totally completely destroyed, right? Lama Tsongkhapa was saying no, it is completely destroyed. For some example there, even seed is not eliminated, but it never gives you the result. Same as like the first one saying, even the specifications of what's it? Where in ordinary beings clear away non-virtue by means of its remedy, apply 4 powers. Right? Once we apply the 4 power, so we say it will be completely eliminate non-virtue. Right? Usually we say that when we do purification practice. Right? So, but it's seed. What is the seed of non-virtue actually? It's not saying something kind of a leftover of non-virtuous actions, like say we're killing someone, right? So, and we're killing something. So then that is the non-virtue action. Then second, we may train the imprints, and it's hold it to give until it gives the result, right? And when we do purification practice with the 4 power, we'll be clear there's all negative karma which you hold it within mind by the 4 power purification practice, right? It's clear. Therefore, that non-virtues never gives you result because it's clear. But seed is there. What is the subgraspings? All the seed of said non-virtues are subgraspings, right? So subgrasping is there, but non-virtue is completely clear. Therefore, never gives you the result. But seed is there. So therefore, just seed is there. It cannot prove it's not completely destroyed because of seed is there. Because the non-virtues, seed is there, but it's completely purified or pacified by the four powers practice. That's one reason it's saying here. And it's not eliminated in the seed. Nevertheless, so the seed of this non-virtue may later meet with what called requisite conditions. They cannot issue fortunes. Even virtue and non-virtuous karma, there are the span upon issuing their individual fruitions do not lose their seeds. Nevertheless, even when the seed of the special karma meets henceforth with a requisite condition, it is impossible for the fruition to arise. And when you attain the peak and preparation level of the path of preparations, the second, the third, or fourth level, you do not eliminate the seed of non-virtue that cause wrong view and miserable rebirth. Nevertheless, even though the seed of this non-virtue may meet with the requisite condition, like say second, like a third path, like what's here says third one, the progression path, the forbearance, and then peak. The forbearance, once you attain the forbearance, the progression path, you are kind of like a freeing from lower ranks. You never rebirth the lower ranks. But at that moment, did you eliminate the seed of rebirth in lower ranks? No. You are, because it's only eliminated by the like a seeing path, right? So therefore, you are not eliminate the seed which is rebirth in lower ranks, but you will never ever rebirth in lower ranks once you achieve the forbearance of preparation path. So
why is the seed cannot come to fruition? It will never be more in the lower realm. Okay? Why does the seed remain in existence? The seed,
did I say that?
I'm saying that.
Or what he said?
He is saying the same thing. It says here that the two ways, either through the powers of purification, or the four powers of confession, okay?
Yeah.
The seeds do not get eliminated, okay?
But never gives you result.
However, it's not
Never gives you result.
right, no fruition.
No fruition.
Right, okay. And then
Yeah.
again later, it says, the second example, it says, when you attain the peak of forbearance levels, the second and the third level, also you don't eliminate the seed, but they will never come to fruition.
Yes.
So the question I'm asking you is, if they never come to fruition, what is the purpose of the seed not getting eliminated?
Every seed has to be purpose there.
What's the purpose of the seed if it can never come to a fruition? What is the purpose? Can the seed come to fruition in the future?
Here,
and the
I will tell you here. You have a flower seed in plastic, right? If in plastic, it gives you the result, that's it. When is it in plastic?
No.
But why purpose to keep the seed?
Because you want to use it in the future. But here, the seed can never come. No, but it's an important question.
Yeah.
If the seed cannot come to fruition, either by the four powers of confession or by the reaching attaining the level of forbearance, if they cannot come to fruition, but still they don't get eliminated. So I'm asking, why don't they get eliminated?
I understand your question. I understand your question. Yeah. Okay. No, repeat it. I understand your question. So you are saying, what is the purpose of holding seed there?
Right.
My answer is, every seed holding there is not necessary to give us fruitions. Right? This is the seed which we need to eliminate. We're talking about non-virtue seed, right? Which is brings to the rebirth and hell grounds. that seed is there but not gives you the result. That seed is there, not gives you the result because of not meet the condition. All the seed has to meet with the condition that gives you result. But that kind of seed, one thing is not meet with the condition, therefore not give result. Another way, that seed is ready to eliminate. We are eliminating that seed. So not allow them to have any kind of fruition, okay?
When you do a purification,
Yeah.
confession,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Uh-huh.
The seed does not get eliminated, but it will not come to fruition.
Yes.
The same thing with the latent confession.
Same.
So let me ask you the question in a different way. Can that seed, either through purification, which did not get eliminated, but it will never get fruition, and the same seed through attainment of conference will never reach fruition, but will still remain alive, okay? Can that seed come to fruition under different circumstances?
No, never.
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 So why is it there? Why is it there?
Why is there? Because it's not meet the condition, not eliminated yet. Therefore it's there.
But if the seed cannot come to fruition,
As I said
it's
here,
eliminated.
as I said here, it's not eliminated, therefore it's there. Why not give result? It's not meet the condition, therefore there.
But if the seed does not come to fruition, okay?
Yes.
Let's say I take a seed and I shoot it with radioactive.
Doesn't matter how much you say it, how well you say it. I understand your question.
the question
That's just my answer.
no, but the purpose of what's the purpose of the seed? It's a
No need purpose.
It's an
No need a purpose to holding seed. Okay. That's my answer. No need a purpose for holding seed. Seed is there. It's not the purpose to giving you result. Okay. Seed is there. It's not ready to eliminate yet. Therefore, it's there. Seed is there, not giving fruit because it not meet the condition. Thus, I'm repeating my answer.
It's still a subtle obscuration, isn't it? So it needs to be eliminated before it's not any kind of, it won't give result, but still there's some subtle obscuration, right? Or because we don't eliminate seeds until it.
Sure, can I be happy?
So you're talking about the seed that which we got in the hell rounds?
Well, any so we're talking seed.
Here, specific, you're talking
seed
about
that can't give result.
forbearance,
Yeah.
which is not really gives you result in helpings.
Yeah,
Never.
there's a seed that can't give results. So Ronnie's asking, well, so why is it there? Why is it a problem, right? If it can't give a result, why do we still need to eliminate it? It's still a subtle obscuration, isn't it?
No, it's subtle. Yeah, it's like a why we need to eliminate it. That's what you're asking.
I asked.
He never asked like a why
I
is
asked that.
it
No, I think his question
That's
is
your
faulty.
problem.
That's the problem we're trying to answer. I think our question is faulty.
Okay.
I wanted you to tell me that the reason the seed is still there, even though it cannot come to fruition because you need purification via confession or the attainment of parents, the seed is still there because I was hoping you would tell me because it still needs to eliminate it and it can be eliminated by doing this and that. But you didn't tell me that. You just said, yeah, the seed has to be there. So I'm asking you why it has to be there. So
Didn't I say answer for your question? I tell you like I said your answer for your question. Repeat my answer first. Repeat my answer, then I will repeat your question. Repeat my answer.
Your answer was that the seed has to remain there until it can be.
Because what? Remain there because what?
I don't
You
know.
will not listen to my answer, right? That's the problem.
Because it hasn't been eliminated.
No, it has to be there because it has been eliminated. But then how does it?
Yeah.
How does
That's
it?
the one thing. And another thing what I said two things. It's there because it's not eliminated yet. It's there because what? See,
Wow.
you have to listen. I repeat 3 times. I repeat 3 times this answer.
The second, what's the second?
Now I'm not going to tell you.
Can I give one example?
Yeah, you can give it. Yeah.
So if I had, let's say I have a seed, one is sterile, and I'm trying to grow flowers. So I put that sterile seed in the ground. Can't give result.
Right.
It's still there though, isn't it?
Right.
Is that ground pure with that sterile seed?
I mean, the seed that doesn't make the ground
So
pure.
the seed can't give a result, but to make the ground pure, there's still work to do.
Why does the seed there that's sterile makes the ground impure? It's a sterile seed. It cannot make the ground impure. Why would the sterile seed make the ground impure?
Okay, that's
You say like it doesn't,
well,
it doesn't matter.
instead of let's grow hydroponically. So instead of having any dirt, just water. The seed is there.
So the
Is
seed,
that water pure?
yeah, the seed is not going to make the water pure. It's a sterile seed. That's what I don't understand.
Can
I think he-
Are we talking about the seeds that aren't eliminated that are self-grasping, right? It's not like, I'm thinking way back, the seeds that aren't.
No, every seed is not self-grasping. Not every single seed is grasping. So here said the barbarians and the pigs are not limited seed. That seed means the seed that the negative karma. That seed called negative karma, which is brings you like a hell beings, rebirth in hell beings. That negative karma, not giving you the fruition because it's not meet the perfect conditions, and they are ready for eliminating. So that's it. No, every seed is not necessarily self-grasping. That I'm
They
saying.
still need to be eliminated.
Yes,
They will
of course.
eventually-
Yes.
They will eventually be eliminated.
Yes.
Yes.
The thing that the first part that you just said, the seed not coming to fruition because it didn't meet the condition. It's completely separate situation than a situation when the seed doesn't come.
Until you cannot completely repeat my answer, I'm not going to say that. I 3 times repeated. 3 times I repeated. Okay, so I'm not going to say that. If you come, because we have a record, I want to hear it. If you completely repeated my answer, then I'm going to talk to you.
I wasn't satisfied with that.
Yeah, that's another issue. That's another issue. Satisfaction and not satisfaction. First, you have to know what are my answer. Then say satisfied or not satisfied, right? What is my answer?
What happened is that
See, that's it.
because I wasn't satisfied with the answer, I kind of discarded it. That's why I don't remember.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Whether it's satisfied or not. Satisfaction is not just you. We don't need an attractable word, okay? So sometimes we say attractable word, right? Attractable word. What called? Attractive word, okay. When we say nice word or attractive word, then immediately absorb it. There are something not attractive word, then say, oh no, that's wrong. We are not looking about what words using. We are looking about what the meaning is there. That's where we have to go, right? Not rely on the word, rely on the words. So like a meaning.
Repeat the answer, otherwise I won't be able to concentrate.
Okay, let me go further. So now, okay, we are, now what is the Lamrim statement? You are clear with that? What is eliminating means? You are clear with it? It be clear, never ever gives you the result. That the clearing means that, okay? Okay, so now here, the part of clearing, that is 3 types, like a great, destroying, right? The destroying, like a great destroying, and medium destroying, and then small destroying. There are 3 ways to destroy. As like as the sutra said it, where it's the sutra. Then the Venerable Upali, who was located off the side, and Bhagavan, how those root of virtue use demonstration. Oh, here say, okay, oh Bhagavan, right? How are those root of virtue used up, diminished, erased, and extinguished? That's the 3 things. Diminished, erased, extinguished. Diminished, I don't know English word, okay? Tibetan word says sabra. Sabra means sub. Diminish, yeah. Diminish. What is diminish? Oh, maximal. Okay, that's same. So that's the one way to destroying the virtue. Like similar means like if you are for giving example, non-virtue. Okay, non-virtue is karma. It's you are rebirth and hell beings. That karma brings you the rebirth and hell beings. Then that purification makes you diminish like just having headache in this lifetime. Or if you have a long time in hell beings, or if you're having 10 years suffering, it could be diminished 5 years or 2 years by this purification. Same way, the virtuous karma or virtues is angry, destroying virtue means that virtue, you are destroying that virtue, giving you the fruition, like what called ripen result, then what full result, right? Ripen result, but it still brings you like a experience result. Right? You are ripen result means like I say, karma brings you the any lifetime, any different type of life. That's how we call ripen result.
Rapid means fast.
Ripening is ripen, ripen, yeah, ripen result, which is takes any kind of life, right? But that karma will be diminished, but you will be bringing some kind of experience result by this virtue, right? That's virtue. Could be brings you experience result, even diminish even eliminate the ripen result.
So are we talking?
How destroyed?
Are we talking the distinction between projecting and completing?
No, no, we are not talking. So he's talking here the destroying, right? In general say destroying means never gives you result. Okay, that's in general. But that way gives you some result, not the completely destroyed, which is like a called similar destroyed, which is say diminished. And then in erased is like most of result is eliminated, but it still left over few result, right? That's the word one. Another way to destroy it, to virtue, right? So if you talk virtue, it's called destroyed. If you talk non-virtue, it's called purified, right? So their virtues will be the most of result is eliminated by anger, but some result will be remaining. That medium is like a way of destroying the virtues by anger, right? And then the great one is you are completely eliminate, no more result. Your virtue, any virtue that brings you the any result, now by your anger is destroying all virtues, never gives you that result. That's the greatest destroying the virtues. There are 3 ways to destroy the virtues, okay? Same way non-virtues. Therefore it says diminish, erase, and extinguish. Okay? It's here. It's page, what we read it here, the page, 155, the sutra, it's called Aya Sarvasta Vastavadana Sutra, right? Okay, you understand? Okay, yes.
If you're on the preparation path, you have these seeds that will not ripen, right? Are they still multiplying, or
No, not multiplying.
as well?
Yeah,
So
yes.
okay.
Just hold that seed.
That's part of the
Yeah.
not.
Yes,
Okay. It's part
Yes.
of being extinguished.
yes, yes. Okay, so now we're going to move more further. So we are finished what is number 2 rubber stage. And say now furthermore, the reasoning is unsound because as the earlier what's called citations Vasubandhu's treasure of knowledge audio commentary, says, as to the actions that give rise to circle existence, there are those that are the weighty. Oh, weighty, okay. Those that are near, those to which you are habituated, and those did earliest among the. This is like you're talking about which karma brings you result, right? That's okay. So what was saying these are the same. Or just, okay, it's continuous giving like a reason that the rejecting their statement. Chabal, can you continue doing that? Any virtues?
I think that paragraph that it says those that are near. Can you explain what actions would be near?
Okay. So give example with one example, right? Say the one karma, like you have two karma, right? So you have two. One karma gives you the animal life. One karma gives you the human life. Okay, which is comes first? And then say which is closer. The which is closer means which is close to meet condition that comes first. Even the same has the same condition needed at the same time. Then which gives you the first result. And then say which is the near. Again, which is near means like which is like okay, sorry. The close means near. Near means here, which is near to meet the condition. Okay, which is near to meet the condition. And then it says, and then first it says the both are the same heavier, right? The both karma has the same heavier result give you the two result. There's the same weight, but it is the same which karma gives you for, which is near to meet the condition. Okay, near to meet condition. Yeah, and then even there are like a same meet the condition. They are both equally near to meet condition, and which karma gives you the result first, which you have more habitual. That's not how the karma cycle. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, can you finish that? Any virtues or non-virtuous actions?
Any virtuous or non-virtuous action that comes to fruition does temporarily stop the opportunity for fruition of another action. However, it is not said, nor can it be established, that a mere preceding virtue destroys virtue or non-virtue. Nor is it appropriate for destroying the roots of virtue to mean a mere temporary postponement of fruition. Otherwise, it would absurdly follow that all powerful non-virtuous actions must be considered destroyers of the roots of virtue.
Okay, so until here, Lama Tsongkhapa is rejecting, giving reason why they're rejecting their statement, right? Now follow here, therefore, concerning this the Master Baba Viveka. Now Lama Tsongkhapa, his own statement saying, okay, this is my thought because followed by the Baba Viveka and others the text. So especially he quoted by Baba Viveka text saying which is completely right. Can you do that?
Therefore, concerning this master, Baba Viveka states that in the case of both the purification of non-virtue by the four powers of confession and the destruction of the roots of virtue by wrong views and malice, the seeds of the virtue or non-virtue cannot give rise to effects, even though they may later meet with the requisite conditions, just as spoiled seeds will not give rise to sprouts, even though they may meet the requisite conditions.
Okay. Condition and moreover,
as already explained, even though you cleanse your accumulation of sins, through purification by the four powers. This does not contradict the fact that you are slow to produce higher paths.
Okay, this part is exactly talking what is number of exceptions, right? So there's this, Baba Viveka is one of those, like from Nagarjuna, first, second, third one. It's Baba Viveka, who is also that belongs to Madhyamika Tennis School, right? Okay, so now we are clear, right? So it's like we are still talking about invisible result and then destroy virtue and what virtue should be destroyed. Oh, okay, I never mentioned that what virtue should be destroyed, right? So that virtue never it's not really so comprehending. That word, that we have a merit, the true merit, right? The one called like a collection merit, and then wisdom merit. Isn't that what said? I don't know what's that in English. She before and so on. Okay, now you try to understand. Collection merit, and then sublime wisdom merit. Does it say it? Okay, the collection merit and sublime wisdom merit. It is true. Collection merit is the which could be destroyed. The sublime wisdom merit never destroyed. Okay? Even the collection virtue, which is not comprehended by wisdom of emptiness, that could be destroyed. And then which is comprehended by wisdom of emptiness, never destroyed. So, so therefore, you understand what is comprehended by virtue? Okay. Yeah. Saying that, giving as like an example, generosity. Okay. So you're giving generosity. That's collecting virtue, right? You're giving with understanding emptiness, thinking myself as emptiness, what things is emptiness, who give is emptiness. You always thinking with them. That virtue cannot be destroyed by the anger. Right? So now they are physical virtue, individual virtue, which can be destroyed by anger, right? Our virtue, yes, I think could be destroyed by anger. And if you show the anger to Bodhisattva, then totally destroyed, right? So because our virtue is most of the merit, the collection virtue, collection merit is not that wisdom sublime merit. We don't have that, right? Until you meditate or until you see the emptiness. All right. So what most of we're doing, like station, reading sadhana, all this like practice, what we're doing, settling practice, all these are the like a collection merit, collection virtues. That's virtue could be destroyed by anger. Okay, that's the I forget to tell you. And then the receiving and then who gets anger, that two different there. That's already covered. And what destroy mean, there are some scholars said, what Lamrim says, it's different, two different there, it's also clear, right? So, okay.
For the ordinary person, there is no antidote to anger. If one is angry,
For the ordinary person, there are no antidote.
if they are angry at the Bodhisattva, that means they just need to no antidote, no power, whatever.
It means you cannot build back, right? There are no way to bring back.
Right.
Once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, that's the Lama Sangha statement. It's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not that something holding.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So these are we're finished, and then okay. So what we are now.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that last question and your answer?
Can you repeat what Yvonne asked?
The last question.
So we have a microphone here.
Okay.
I was just asking
Your English is better than mine, yeah.
verification that I understood correctly that one once you are angry and upset, you lose all merit, originality, or powers or something. No way to advance originality.
You can also share the answer.
And
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand that at all.
Okay, my understand what Ivan asking is, if we show anger to the sattva, it's destroying our virtue. And maybe your thought is, could we rebuild that old virtue back? They have some remedy, or there's some power that we can build back that virtue? That's your question, and I said no. Once eliminated by anger, which is showed to the sattva, then it was gone forever. Yeah.
So I have a follow-up question then. So if that's the case, my understanding is that if you recall a virtuous activity and you rejoice in that, if it's something that happened in the past, that generates merit. So in that way, is that correct?
If you remember something you did before and rejoice in that virtuous thing, in that practice of rejoicing.
This is you creating new virtue. It's not that you're bringing back that virtue.
She's saying remembering.
Yes, it is. But you bring new virtue by rejoicing. It's not the continuing that same virtue being back, right? It's not that.
So in a way, I mean, it's like saying, okay, I've done something really good, and now if I rejoice in that again, even though I've destroyed that original merit from doing that action, I can now develop that merit again through rejoicing in that past activity. Is that correct?
Develop means you can having new virtues, yes, true. But develop means you are not developing same virtue,
Right.
which is destroyed by anger, right?
Right.
As well, you are rejoicing your previous virtue, which is destroyed by anger. Still, you created new virtues, yes. Still, you accumulated virtue.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Shiva, can you read the next recording for someone? Do you want the page number?
Accordingly, for some persons, anger destroys, for instance, their resources and excellent mind. The respective effects of giving gifts and safeguarding ethical discipline, but is unable to destroy their ability to easily produce the roots of virtue again through giving gifts and safeguarding ethical discipline by means of the causally concordant behavioral effect of their habituation to generosity in an attitude of abstention.
Okay. So here says someone, some person. It's not every single, right? It's saying that someone is like a accumulation path, each other. Accumulation path who the Bodhisattva who achieve the accumulation path shows some kind of small anger to Bodhisattva who are achieve the accumulation path. That could be resolved with kind of change. Yeah. You understand? Yes. And then it's also like not really strong anger, it's small amount of anger. That's what we having these things. And then next one.
For other persons, anger destroys the continuous occurrence of a similar type of causally concordant virtuous behavior, like ethical self-discipline and so on, but does not destroy the occurrence of an excellent body, resources, and so forth.
Okay, that like a other person is again the Bodhisattva. And then anger destroys the continuum occurrence of similar type of cosmic condition. That's saying when Bodhisattva breaks Patimoksha vows. It's not saying Bodhisattva vows and Tantra vows. When Bodhisattva breaks the Patimoksha vows, then it's happening. Okay, so some are something that you have to know that something individual. Okay, these are some points. Again, it still is Bodhisattva, but it breaks the patimoksha vows, then they're having kind of result like this.
It says excellent body. What's the excellent body?
Excellent body. Like our human body is excellent body.
That's what it means. Body, real body.
Oh yeah, it is real body, and then all like excellent enjoyment things.
Excellent is healthy
Healthy, opportunity, leisure. This is all we talk about. Yeah. Okay, so this is like just a break. The patimoksha vows, and then not the root one, right? Some kind of patimoksha vow get break and then still not destroy all the result, but some point, yeah. By Sri Bodhisattva, okay. And then next one.
Some bodhisattvas realize a path through which they progress to perfection within one field. For instance, if they do not generate anger toward a bodhisattva who has obtained a prediction of his or her upcoming enlightenment. If they produce a single angry thought towards such a bodhisattva, this path is not expelled from their mind stream, but their progress on the path is slow for the life of the
Okay, this is like talking to showing anger to Bodhisattva. Then this happening. Okay, in brief now, it's now conclusions, all this, what we need to practice, right?
In brief, just as in the case of the purification of non-virtue, there is no need to purify every behavioral effect. So with respect to the destruction of virtue, there is no need to destroy every behavioral effect. However, as this is important, and it is critical to analyze it using the scriptures of the unique Buddha and the reasoning based on them, you should research the scriptures well and do an analysis. Thus, the invisible faults of anger are that it projects its own fruitions, which are extremely unpleasant, in that it prevents the arising of the measureless, very pleasant fruitions of its opposite.
Okay, so that's our part you understand, right? So that again, how to destroy that could be destroyed the fruit, like a result path, like a ripened result, but not the experience result. They have a few which is not completely eliminated. So when destroyed virtue is not completely eliminated, how much is eliminated, that much you lose the result, right? So it is dependent on what the earlier scholar said. Okay, so and then I think let me go down there. This talks Lama Tsongkhapa letter, but I mean like it's good to know with here. This is only the anger is destroy your virtue, right? So far we're talking anger is the danger, is destroy our virtue. Therefore, the question is only the anger is the only one who destroy anger, or I mean destroy virtue, or something else there. So therefore we need to go back a little bit. So it's good to know with it. Let me see, where is it? Okay. Okay. Should I just read about the delusions?
Divisions of patient?
Yeah. But still there are many wrong. Okay, I will read it.
I feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for although other sins.
Still there are many wrong other than anger.
Still, there are many wrongs other than anger that combine both production of a terrible fruition and destruction of the roots of virtue. Wrong views that deny cause and effect, abandoning the sublime teachings, generating pride in relation to bodhisattvas, gurus, and the like, and thus terribly belittling, and so forth. You can know these from the continuing trainings.
Okay, so now you understand, right? There are more cause there which destroy anger. Wrong view. Wrong, especially the wrong view is exactly equal power that as like anger, right? But why anger is mentioning again and again? Because it's like a close to happen with us. It's like a really dangerous happen with us, right? It's possible to happen with us. Therefore, it's mentioning again and again. Compare wrong view, it could be less or anger, right? So, but the wrong view is, as I said, exactly power, same power as anger, destroying all these virtues. And they are more say like abandoning the sublime teaching, also destroying the virtues, right? And then generating pride to relationship with Sattva and gurus also is destroying the virtues. And then also like which you can say you also you have a pride on your own virtues, also destroying virtues. Once you have a pride on your own virtues, so it could be danger with us. Say if you are studying very good, but which is good. Like you study down, which is very good. You are meditating very good on Dharma. So then when you see someone is not doing meditation, then you are criticizing them. That means you are having pride on your meditations. Or when you criticize who's not learning well, who's criticizing who's ask some kind of silly question. That's the pride, you having pride on your own virtue. So these are the danger, right? So this is also called destroy the this all virtues. Therefore, not only anger. This is important to know. And then see, destroying virtue means it's not necessary that at the moment every single virtue should go, right? Once you have anger, at the same moment you do not have any virtues. You do have anger. I mean, you do have a virtue at the moment. So like right now, I'm having anger. It could be destroy my virtues, but at the moment, it's not necessary that completely destroy all virtues. At the moment, it's not necessary that you do not have any virtue. Still, you do have a virtue, but the destroying is not gives you result. It's destroying to give you result in the future, right? So therefore, usually I explain that accumulating merit or like a purifying, giving as about like your habit changing, right? Your habit changing. Once you have anger, at the moment, your good habit is not necessarily changing. Your good habit still remaining there, but it could be destroyed in the future, like a turn into bad habit, right? So that's the same way you can. You can understand that way to destroying and accumulating means, right? It's destroying means changing your like a good habit to turn into the bad habit, and accumulating means like your bad habit changing the good habit. That's how. And then once you think this way, then it says, okay, this is the cause destroyed. Okay, this is the cause accumulating. Then you will understand. Right? So that's the you should know, right? Okay. Okay, these are the result which is visible. And we have a 15 minutes. I'm going to complete also the result which is visible. Okay? Do you have any question? You are clear, right? You have? Okay, okay. So you're clear so far what we talked, right? Okay. So now Chipper. Okay. The fault of anger visible.
The faults of anger visible in its lifetime. Are they?
But when you read it, same time you read it, there's 7 types of fault. You just find it out with the Bodhisattva or will deeds, and then also the life story also has a 708 or 7. You just find it out what the result, what the fault. Okay.
The faults of anger visible in this lifetime are that you do not experience a peaceful and good mind. The joy and happiness that you had previously perished, and you cannot regain them. You cannot sleep well, and you weaken the stability wherein your mind stays home. When you have great hatred, Even those for whom you formerly cared, forget your kindness and kill you. Even friends and relatives will get annoyed and leave you. Although you gather others with your generosity, they will not stay, and so on. Engaging in the Bodhisattva's deed says, in the grasp of the mental pains of hate, your mind does not experience peace. You do not find joy or happiness. Sleep does not come, and you become unstable. Even those who depend on a master, who cares for them with wealth and services, will overcome and kill a master who gets angry. His anger disheartens friends. Though he gathers people with gifts, they will not serve him. In brief, no angry person is happy.
This is what we needed to start with, instead of what we started.
The garland of birth stories also says,
Yeah.
when your complexion is spoiled by the fire of anger, you cannot look good, though adorned with jewelry. You may sleep on a good bed, but your mind suffers the sharp pains of anger. You forget to achieve goals beneficial to yourself. Tormented by anger, you take an evil path. You ruin the achievement of your aims in your good name. Your grandeur fades like the waning moon. Though your friends love you, you fall into an abyss of wrong. Weakening your intelligence about what is helpful and what is harmful. You mostly transgress and your mind becomes confused. Through anger, you are accustomed to sinful acts. So you suffer for 100 years in miserable realms. What harm greater than this could be done, even by enemies avenging the great harm you've done? This anger is the inner enemy. I know it to be so. You can bear its proliferation. You will meditate until you are firmly convinced that grave consequences such as these arise from anger. Thus, engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, says, there is no sin like hatred, and no fortitude like patience. Therefore, earnestly cultivate patience in a variety of ways. First, understand the benefits and faults, and then strive to cultivate patience in many ways. The reason behind the first line is set forth in Chandrakirti's explanation of the Middle Way commentary. You cannot measure the fruitions of anger, just as you cannot measure the water in the ocean with a balance scale. Therefore, for projecting unpleasant effects and damaging virtue, there is no sin greater than a lack of patience. For although other sins result in extremely unpleasant fruitions, they are not great sins on that account alone, given that they do not destroy the roots of virtue. Still, there are many wrongs other than anger.
Okay, this we already read it. So now here, I'm not going to repeat what explained here, the fault of having anger. And whatever you know is the fault of having anger, the opposite one is benefit of doing patience. You can think it. Also, you think what benefit is doing patience, that opposites are fault of anger. You can go that way. And also, one of the commentary in Indian master, I don't remember his name, is it says once you have anger, your sense faculties are inflexible. So inflexible, like a
Rigid.
What's that?
Rigid.
Rigid.
Rigid. Not flexible.
Okay. So yeah, it's not flexible. That's one thing it says. And then also it says it's like you are completely spawn or content rather. You know, you just making blame to other, criticizing other. That's once you have anger, you do that. And also said here, you are easily separating from others, oftenly separating from others because of this of anger. And then it says transgressions. What means transgression? Said Yeah, it's like Tibetan is a chibur-chewa. Chibur-chewa means you are not looking what the people think. You are not taking care what they feel. So you do what you like. This is also the result of anger. That's the Tibetan word chibur-chewa. When I look at the translation, it's fine. Translation, I don't know what it is. Yeah, disregarding other things. Okay, so that's the one thing. And then it's talking about who have a strong anger, whether it's manifested or not manifested. Of course, when it's manifested, all the result, all the fault already talked. So even they are not manifested yet, who have a strong anger at the daily life, so that person might have like there are many dislikes. Many dislike. There are, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. There are many dislikings. We have a many disliking, there might be the fault of having angers. And then also say your activities are pointless. Your activities are like not meaningful, the pointless. That's the one thing that say. And then one thing is repeating what Shantideva said. You might have a often the unpeaceful mind, right? So, and then you're naturally are like a what called mitumba. Kamala mitumba la nakare. Shenda mitumba.
Kama tumelo disagreement.
Me the matumba jola, me the kum matumba jola.
Not friendly, Lamrim.
Close friendly?
Not friendly.
Not friendly. Okay, yeah, that's it. Your nature is become a more not friendly. That's also said like one of the faults of having anger. And then also you will have naturally habit. What's natural say? But you are habitually habitually will be difficult to difficult to stop what you're doing, difficult to reduce what you're thinking. Even like someone give advice or you're reading book or whatever you're doing, it's very difficult to change it, difficult to stop it, what you're doing or what you're thinking. That is also having the fault of having strong anger. And then abusive language, again, harsh word, and then with the the abusive language. Oftenly use that opposite language. These are also whether it's manifest or not, people have that kind of result. That means it could be result of having a strong anger and dissolve the fault. Right? That's the same. I cannot hear you. It's a Western language. Pointless, yeah. Meaningless. Like once you have a strong anger, and then people have a strong habit of anger, or anger itself manifested. So that most of their activities, it's lack of friendly, or lack of harmonies, or lack of respecting. All this you do it, it's less the pointless. So this result is talks in one of the commentary, the Indian Pandit commentary. I don't remember the name exactly. It's in
chapter in Shantidev's book. The first time we read, what chapter is it? Remember?
What I read it?
No, when we read it a few minutes ago. Shantidev's book. Chapter 6.
Oh, okay. Most are in chapter 6. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now these are the faults, and then again the patients, all these opposites resolve resolve the resolve patients, and then see how it goes, right? Therefore, very beginning, I try to explain what is really anger, So, because we have something confused, and then our actions, our thought, our attitude could be related with what emotion, what you have at the moment, right? So therefore, if you not really understand the anger, you cannot make it connected. Your like actions, attitude cannot connect it with what emotion you have, right? So now here, the actions and attitude, what thoughts here, it's very much strongly connected with who have anger or who have a strong habit of having angers. Anger and habit of having anger, you know that, right? So very beginning, do not have a strong anger. And then they, in daily life, again and again having anger with some condition, again and again and again, that is becoming your habit. Then you will, even your small reason, you will have anger, which we see not necessarily have anger, but you will have anger even in very small reason. So that much you can develop your anger. So therefore, when this comes, you always try to stop it. When it's let it go again and again and again, it's becoming your strong habit. All these results come to you. So, which is all negative, right? Yeah. Okay? Okay, now, any question? Finally. Finally. I just kidding. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just kidding.
Based on Denise' question,
Uh-huh.
supposedly your previous virtue has been destroyed.
Uh-huh.
And then she said, well, can I rejoice on something that's on my previous virtue?
Yeah.
And you said, yes, but it's gone. How can you rejoice on something that has been destroyed?
You can rejoice in your memory.
But will that give you a virtue?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what if I rejoice on the same thing every day? Do I get more virtue?
Yes, would be, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, rejoicing is, that was say rejoicing is like an easy way to do it, and it makes you huge difference, accumulating matter. Yeah. So yeah, therefore, say rejoicing is much. Even you should rejoice from Buddha to whoever practitioner, not just yours. And also, you can rejoice again and again on your virtue, but make it different than pride. Okay, this is important. Yeah, rejoicing means you are kind of like you are happy with it. So when you see someone happy, you are happy, right? They are nothing to do with any negative emotion. This is not jealousy because you are happy with it, right? So then you not gain anything from you are happy with it. So therefore, that kind of rejoicing with it. So it's antidote for jealousy, right? So that makes it different than pride. Also could be sometimes mixed with the pride.
So the same way rejoicing is something we did in the past, it's virtue. It's continually regretting something bad that you did in the past, that it reduces the bad karma about it, it purifies it. What does it do?
No,
All the time regret something you did in the past.
So regret is good, but based on regret, you have to apply like a remedy to purify it. Yeah, so full power that we needed for purifying, we say full power. Don't ask what is full power. Okay, I tell you 2 times. Full power we need it for purification practice.
Oh, the 4 power.
Yes. So regret is one of those, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But let's say you purify it. You corrected your bad action. Corrected. Corrected. But if you still keep regretting over the years, you think about it, you better about it, you continue to think about it, you better about it, even though you corrected that bad action. Does it have any benefit? Does it reduce the bad
I didn't see any benefit, more regret. I see more like close to having depression. Depression.
Oh, depression.
Depression, yeah. Right? Yeah, you see us. Yeah. Just regret and regret and regret is not good healthy. It's not healthy. So regret with the other remedy, that's also good. Yeah. Neither regret, not holding. That's what I said. Right?
I have a question about the law,
Mm-hmm.
the 999. Presumably that's an
Mm-hmm.
and yet in one lifetime, was able to. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And you didn't have suffer many eons of problems, even though you had anger. How was he able to get over this?
Get over the anger.
Yeah.
So that's a general say everyday dedication. Every day dedicated. So that's part of like a Bodhisattva is not dedicated. That's really makes me interesting thing. That's true, right? So I'm thinking on that. Still, I'm going to back read my textbook or asking someone looking at that. But yes, dedication is keep your the virtues, right? So, but it says like so far, my understanding is not every single dedicate is counted. You should dedicate to enlightenment, to forsake of all beings. Like the beings are countless, therefore your virtues becoming countless. Once you become virtuous, you become countless. Then one anger destroying everything is kind of difficult. So, but is it possible some points could be destroyed if you dedicate it? Say show anger to Bodhisattva, right? So, but this is the best way to keep our virtue or dedicate to enlightenment. Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that the other two ways of dedicating that are regarded as acceptable are like inferior to that motivation? Like the other two being acceptable?
Other two what?
Other two ways of dedicating that are acceptable. Like for the long life of the Lama and for the Dharma to remain.
Mm-hmm.
So those
is not counted like a keep your virtue strong, never destroy.
So then they're in this sense they're inferior to that motive.
Inferior means
lesser than.
yeah. But this is important, right? Yeah. This is important to dedicate it. To go into like long life and Dharma in virtues. It's important to dedicate, but comparing your dedicate to achieve enlightenment, that's not really, it's inferior.
So I always ask you this, and it seems like another time to ask. It's like cultivating bodhicitta has a lot of power. Like if you can, even if you have destroyed your virtue, if you can develop really strong bodhicitta, isn't that like an incredible thing? If you don't stay
accumulating merit?
Well, and you don't stay in the home realms. I remember that like one moment of bodhicitta, you could just like out of the home.
Yeah, it is. But cultivating bodhicitta will be depend on, you are talking about not achieved yet, right? You are trying to practice to have that kind of. Once you have it, then the same your bodhicitta will be accumulated a lot of merit. So therefore, sometimes people have a question: if we destroy all this virtue by one anger, by eon and eons, which we collected, so we are not left over, then how we can enlighten it, as you can say. Another way, one thing makes you huge accumulated merit, right? One thing is destroy everything, one thing makes you huge. So it could be balanced, yeah.
So like Bodhisattva, but just because of all their practice to be a Bodhisattva,
yes, yeah.
I think they would very quickly be.
Yes. It is. Okay? Yeah.
Karma asks, is there any difference between anger which is expressed out and silent anger which is kept to oneself in terms of the weightiness of the sin?
Express anger, and then silence anger. What is different there, right?
Yes, it said, well, what is the difference in terms of weightiness?
Weightiness means.
Like how heavy it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, with the disturb?
How much speed?
That's a tricky question. Yeah, that's like a depend on what action, right? So if you express anger to tree, then it's much better than holding it, right? If you show anger to people to like fight it,
You said expressing anger towards a tree, but there's that one story of that Naga who had like a head with like a disgusting tree. It was like festering all these things. And somebody asked if we were like, why does he look like that? And it was because he got angry at a tree and he like chopped it down and all these things.
Did you really say that?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I'll show
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. But it is much lighter than express anger toward the people, right? To fight and listen. Yeah, you holding is actually anger. Holding is always not good health, right? And then it says like you have to do patient practice. Once anger comes, you cannot hold it, but you cannot think anything at the immediate moment. But I express outside, which is no human being, which is not beings. Yeah, you can express that, and then do not hold it. It makes you illness, right? So therefore, it could be expressed. Better to express it, but best thing is not having anger. That's the same, right? Not having anger. So this question is based on having anger. Both are negative, but choosing one of those, maybe express to the space is better. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, we can stop here. Sa shi yu chu shi na do da shi ra ling shi yu de gan ba yi san de shi du. Do ru nam da shi ma chu ba sho yi da ma gu ru ra na de la ga ni ya da ya. May the precious supreme religion arise those who believe has not erased, and where he is may it not decrease, but ever increase more and more. By this virtue may all be perfect accumulation of merit and design, and achievement of godliness that arises from merit and design. So next we're going to start from the division of patience. Okay? Plus all is even more.
Sinjan nangwa Geshe